Getting in some breaking news now. Shravan Sen picking up the breaking news details of CBI charge sheet that has been filed against Mehul Choksi, a supplementary charge sheet that has been filed. Let me go across straight to Shravan joining us live with the breaking news story. Shravan, in the PNB bank scam update, the CBI, which already has a team camping in Dominica, which has filed an affidavit in the Dominican High Court, we are hearing has filed another charge sheet. Shravan, that's a big update.
Well, in fact, the latest that we are picking up, Niranjan, right now is that on 10th of June, the Central Bureau of Investigation filed a supplementary charge sheet. Important to point out is that on the 7th of June, DIG Sharda Raut had signed the affidavit.
DIG Sharda Raut had signed the affidavit, which they essentially intended to inform the Dominican court with regards to the cases that have been registered here against Mehul Choksi. Now, on 10th of June itself, a supplementary charge sheet has been filed, and the details that we are picking up right now is that the agency has evidence that Choksi's Gitanjali Gems Limited got about 142 LOUs, 58 FLCs. Now, FLCs are the foreign letter of credits. Now, important to point out what these FLCs are and the LOUs are. If you just put this into perspective, the first FR in the year 2018, in the month of May, when it was filed, they had given the full list of the LOUs, based on which they had managed to get the credit in from foreign banks. All this while, we were given to understand not all the LOUs were basically taken into account in the previous charge sheets that have been filed so far. This particular charge sheet that has been filed on 10th of June takes into account all the LOUs that were essentially obtained by Gitanjali Gems Limited. The number stands at 142 is what we are being told. 58 FLCs, and all of this they got in the year 2017 through Gokulnath Shetty. Remember, Gokulnath Shetty was taken into custody by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, what does this essentially mean? Keeping in mind that there is a hearing, there is an upcoming hearing in the Dominican courts. As far as the Indian agencies are concerned, remember in the affidavit, they have made it absolutely clear that Mehul Choksi is, after all, the mastermind as far as this PNB scam is concerned. He, along with the other bank officials, perpetrated this entire scam. Now, the amount that is being spoken about is about 6,498 crore rupees that they had siphoned off by forging these LOUs. 142 LOUs, 58 foreign letters of credit, with about 311 fake invoices to avail the credit. So that's the latest details that we are picking up from the agencies.
Yes. And Shravan, what more? Now, in the scheme of things, how does this weigh in with an MEA affidavit that details which Ridham Anand Bharadwaj also brought us a few minutes back, and we have the exclusive visuals also of the yacht for the first time that is being shown. Now, all of this, of course, as far as the affidavits go, it's India's legal weight in Dominica, and we are hoping that with all of this, there is a considerable amount of pressure and a case built to bring him back, isn't it?
Well, as far as the agencies are concerned, let me just try and explain that, because Rhythm has already explained with regards to the legal strategy that has been adopted by India, and that in itself is quite unique. The very fact that there is an attempt that has been made by India to try and get themselves implemented in this entire matter, that in itself gives you a sense of which way is it headed and how serious perhaps India is to try and get back Choksi. Now, as far as the central agencies are concerned, remember how they are preparing this entire case. They are first of all putting together the entire dossier in terms of the case that has been registered against Mehul Choksi and his aides. How they are trying to explain it to the Dominican court that as far as the charge sheets that have been filed from the year 2019 onwards, there have been multiple charge sheets that have been filed, and Mehul Choksi is, after all, an economic fugitive offender. And why it becomes very crucial. Remember, money laundering is one such a crime that has been recognized worldwide. And as far as all countries put together, remember, there are several forums before which most of the countries have discussed how they need to come together to curb money laundering. So keeping that in mind, remember, the world is actually going to watch the Dominican courts as well as the government of Dominica with regards to the decision to send back a fugitive offender like Mehul Choksi. So that is something that the central agencies are aware of, and that is the reason why in the affidavit that has been filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, they are essentially talking about the fact that he is the mastermind. He is the one who's siphoned off funds, that to public fund of over 6,000 crore rupees. And how exactly did he do that? Conniving with the bank officials who have already been taken into custody. And it is important that the Dominican courts today set an example that no fugitive offender will be spared. Now that's exactly the strategy that has been adopted by the central agencies at this point in time. Now the supplementary charge sheet basically adds to the evidence load that the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate would like the courts in Dominica to take cognizance of. On the other hand, you have the Enforcement Directorate also stepping in and trying to also put more details out in the public domain with regards to even Mehul Choksi's wife, Preeti Choksi, against whom we are now given to understand in the days to come, perhaps one could expect a charge sheet to be filed.